Kirby Smart complains about Notre Dame's 11-man substitution during critical Sugar Bowl play. Hey, folks, let's talk about the Sugar Bowl and a certain moment that turned Georgia's hopes of victory upside down. Now, we all know Georgia took a 23-10 loss to Notre Dame in a tough battle. But there's one moment that really made all the difference. Well, technically, it was the last little nail in the coffin for the Bulldogs. With just under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Georgia was still holding on. But everything changed in a blink of an eye. Notre Dame was facing a critical fourth and 1, with a 23-10 lead. And guess what the Fighting Irish decided to do? They pulled their entire punt team off the field and rushed their offense into the game like a bunch of sprinting leprechauns. But here's where it gets interesting. The rules dictate that Georgia was supposed to have the chance to respond with their own substitutions. So naturally, they did. The problem was, the whole situation got a little messy. The officials held the ball until Georgia's defense was in position, which, sure, sounds reasonable, but this led to two of Georgia's defenders jumping offsides. The pass that followed, thrown by Riley Leonard, fell incomplete, but guess what? A 5-yard penalty. But hold on, it gets juicier. Did Notre Dame even need to snap the ball? Who knows? But that 5-yard penalty gave them the first down. And they didn't waste any time burning off that clock. By the time they handed the ball back to Georgia, only 2 minutes were left. And with that, Georgia was left with no room to breathe. What did Kirby Smart think? Now, Kirby Smart, the Georgia head coach, wasn't exactly thrilled about how things went down. After the game, he went off in his post-game press conference. And boy, did he have a lot to say about it. Here's the gist of his complaints. It's really unfortunate because I've been told by our head of officials in the SEC that you can't do that. You can't run 11 on, 11 off, Smart said. He went on to explain how they've practiced this scenario before, and that they'd been told in 2017 that it was illegal to do a substitution like that. We got our defense out there. We were fine. I would have gone for it if I were them. So, I don't think they were planning on going for it. They were going to hard count us. And we prepared for that. We do it every week. And we jumped offsides. But we were also told you couldn't do that by our league. The big question, was it actually illegal? Now, here's where the plot thickens. Everyone's scratching their heads over this because, when we take a deep dive into the NCAA rulebook, it's not exactly clear where Smart's complaint comes from. In fact, many experts and fans are asking, what's the deal with that 11-man substitution rule? According to the rulebook, there doesn't seem to be any mention of a ban on 11-man substitutions in the context of this play. In fact, the substitution rules are pretty clear. Teams can make as many legal substitutions as they want, but they can only do so during certain times, like between periods, after scoring, or between downs, in order to replace players. When substitutions happen, the officials make sure the ball can't be snapped until the other team has the chance to substitute as well. So, what does that mean? Well, when Notre Dame brought in their offense, the long snapper didn't touch the ball, so it wasn't in play yet. With 20 seconds left on the play clock, there was plenty of time for Georgia to send in their defense. The official made sure the ball wasn't snapped prematurely, keeping things fair. In fact, the play didn't even start until every player was in position, and the official was there to make sure that happened. But despite all that, Georgia's defenders jumped offsides. Was this all a misunderstanding? Smart admitted that the confusion didn't prevent his defense from getting into position. But the issue wasn't just the substitution. The real problem here was the critical penalty that put Notre Dame in the driver's seat and allowed them to eat up precious time on the clock. Could the officials have handled things differently? Maybe, but in the end, it seems like Kirby Smart may need to have a heart-to-heart with those SEC officials to figure out if there was a misunderstanding about what's allowed during substitutions. While Smart's complaint about the 11-man substitution doesn't seem to hold up against the actual rules, one thing's for sure. That moment in the game was a huge turning point for the Bulldogs. What happened after? Even though Notre Dame didn't score on the ensuing drive, the damage was done. They burned off more than 5 minutes of precious clock. And Georgia only got one more chance to respond with their own drive. It was a tough situation. And time was running out. So, let's all remember this play and how it affected the game. A single moment, full of confusion and penalties, played a pivotal role in deciding the outcome of the Sugar Bowl. Wrapping it up. And that's a wrap on this intense moment from the Sugar Bowl. I want to know what you think. Did the officials handle the substitution situation the right way? Was Kirby Smart just venting after a tough loss? Or is there more to this than meets the eye? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. And share it with your fellow college football fans. Stay tuned for more breakdowns and discussions on all things football. And I'll catch you in the next one. Until next time, folks, keep the football spirit alive. And remember, always keep your eye on those penalties.